An elephant's faithful 100%. At its height in the late 19th century, the circus by P.T. Barnum defined American entertainment. Beginning in the mid-1800s, Phineas Taylor Barnum made popular a traveling spectacle of exotic animals and human oddities, while the five Ringling Brothers performed juggling acts and skits in Wisconsin. Eventually, the two groups merged and the modern circus was born. Just as the Statue of Liberty is a symbol of liberty, freedom in America's open door to the people of the world, the elephant became the symbol of the circus. P.T. Barnum introduced Jumbo, an African elephant, to America in 1882. He was billed as the largest elephant in the world. By the 1950s, the Big Top tent was swapped for indoor arenas, and 30 years later, despite the need for reinvention, the circus was still a rite of passage for children. First, the 3 rings dwindled to 1 ring, then in May 2016, the elephants disappeared. The company sent the remaining animals to live on a conservation farm in Central Florida. In 2014, Feld Entertainment won $25.2 million in settlement from groups including the Humane Society of the United States, ending a 14-year fight over allegations that circus employees mistreated elephants. The Feld family bought the Ringling Circus in 1967, and after 146 years, the greatest show on earth closed on May 21st, 2017, in Uniondale, New York at Nassau County Coliseum. The family acknowledged that what led to the closing was the reality that it was really the animals which initially brought millions of people to the show. Without the elephants, many people refused to attend a circus.
In 1954, John Ringling North invited Nadia Houcke to appear in America with The Greatest Show on Earth. For 3 years she starred in her dressage act until 1956, when Ringling North closed the show. 45 years later, her nephew Sasha joined Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus as chief animal trainer with his daughter Karen. Nadia, the youngest of 5 children, was heir to 2 of France's most celebrated and respected circus families. Their father was the legendary equestrian and circus director Jean Houcke, and their mother was born Marcelle Rancy, the granddaughter of another famous circus dynasty's founder, Theodore Rancy, and daughter of equestrian and circus director Alphonse Rancy. All the children came to prominence as riders and horse trainers, and for 2 centuries have passed on its passion for the equestrian art and worked in some of the most famous circuses in Europe and America. Nadia's 3 brothers, Maurice, Sacha, and Gilbert, recreated the Ben-Hur-style chariot race at Circus Houcke at the Grand Palais in Paris. Maurice went on to lead Cirque Kron's cavalry in Germany and Sacha that of Circus Knie in Switzerland. Twice the horse has been replaced by wild animals. Her brother Gilbert was best known as a tiger trainer and was notably featured with Circus Bush. And today her granddaughter Sarah also works with the tigers. Gilbert capitalized on his film star looks and superb physique, presenting his group of Bengal tigers named the Swedish Tarzan. He was dressed only in a loincloth, but he also wore a black ebony cross worn for good luck, passed down to his nephew Sacha, and then Sacha gave it to his daughter Sarah. Why I Love My Tigers by Gilbert Houcke. Because they bring to me in their manner the sincerity that is lacking so in humanity. Sincerity in their attack, sincerity in their defense, sincerity also in their affection. A tiger attacks for food, obeying in this that fundamental law which demands that all living beings struggle to gain subsistence. Alphonse Sacha is a descendant from one of the oldest circus dynasties, the family Houcke-Rancy. Sacha was raised to have a love of the horses. He is named for his great-grandfather, Alphonse Rancy. At 9 years old, he presented ponies at the Swiss Circus Knie. At 14 years old, Sacha heard his father say the circus wasn't going well and that it was time to think about a different line of work. After graduating, Sacha joined Pierre Pacamoff's troupe of Cossacks and traveled through France for several years. In 1972, he accepted a contract as a Cossack, presenting vaulting on horseback at the Casino of Beirut in Lebanon, a variety music hall show. He was instrumental in the training of a line of 7 white horses galloping on a conveyor belt attached by guide wires moving towards the audience. The effect was incredible. The war closed the show in 1975, and Sasha went to the knee circus to work with exotic animals and horses.
Auf Sascha Houcke Junior. Anjali, hopp. Auf eine Seite. Akiti. Akiti hier. Komm hier, bitte, komm hier. Akiti hier.
John Leonard Houcke, famous squire and leading pioneer of the circus in Scandinavia, founded Cirque Houcke in 1864 and was married to a beautiful rider, Adele Renee, a horsewoman with the Circus Loisette. They joined the Astley Circus in London, where their first son, Adolf Wilhelm Leonard, was born in 1839. In 1869, they bought a circus from the Gautier family and called it Circus Leonard. Axel Gautier, one of the best-known elephant trainers in the world, was descended from 6 generations of circus performers. Ringling bought the elephants from Hagenbeck Circus in 1947, and Axel remained with Ringling from 1970 to 1989 in charge of the Blue Unit's elephants herd. Jean Leonard worked with Lelaine and Franconi before becoming the director for Dijon in Paris. Jean Houcke inherited the Cirque Houcke, which had been founded by his grandfather, and Jean was the former chief rider and instructor to the Imperial Cavalry Riding School in St. Petersburg and became known as the director of the Great Nouveau Cirque in Paris from 1905. He was also known as artistic director of the Hippodrome in New York in 1911, where he established mime shows. And then he became equestrian artistic director for the Bertram Mills Circus at Olympia in London for 3 years from its inception in 1920. John was proud to point out that among his ancestors on his mother's side, they trained horses for King Louis XVI. Sasha's father was with Circus Pinder in France and then moved to Switzerland to Circus Nîmes. He was married to Amy Thomas, an actress, and their only son, Sasha, carries on the circus tradition. Sasha married Judith Benson, and they have 2 girls, Karen and Sarah, who is named after her aunt Sarah Rancy. Both women continue in the family legacy and have been animal trainers with Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus here in America.
les Maximini, présentés par Karine Houcke.
Voici Gabidou.
Gabidou discovered her passion for the horse at a young age when her parents were performing at the Stardust in Las Vegas on a 3-year contract. Her mother was a dancer and her father an acrobatic artist. She performed with Circus Grus for 6 years, specializing in high school dressage, and has appeared in many prestigious circuses in Europe, as well as festivals and horse spectacles. Not only has Sasha worked in all the larger circuses with seating capacity of 10 to 30,000 in Europe and America, he has combined all the talents of his ancestors and become one of the best trainers and presenters of our time. He's very pleased that his daughters are working with the circus, and his grandson seems very fond of his pony, perhaps a sign he will continue the family tradition.